Hi folks, Larry Winget here, back with another episode of Ask Larry Anything, the YouTube series where you can ask Larry Winget anything in the world you'd like to know, and I would just be happy to give your question a shot. All you have to do is write me at info, I-N-F-O, at larrywinget.com. This week's question, interesting question. I can't imagine anyone is interested in this, but it is called Ask Larry Anything, and that's this anything. Mr. Winget, I have much to thank you for, but I will save that for another email, okay? But what I want to know today is how you spend your day when you are having a normal day. That is a day not on the road, as I know you travel a lot. What time of day do you get up and what do you do all day? Things like that. Again, I find this incredibly boring, but that's my day. And I can't imagine anybody wanting to know this. And if you want to click off because you just don't give a damn about how Larry Winget spends his day, I will completely understand. But I'm going to give you a couple of elements here that I think every day should include, and I like to make sure that my day includes. The elements to me of a good day are a day that includes some education, some inspiration, some stimulation, and some relaxation. Now, I know we all have to go to work. I go to work. I typically get up around 7 a.m., sometimes a little early, sometimes a little later, based on where I've been the night before and travel and all that sort of stuff and whether I'm adjusting to time zone differences. But around that sort of time, I immediately sit down on the couch with my dogs and say good morning to them and drink a couple of cups of coffee while I'm answering the emails. How can I go to bed with 0 emails and I get up with 30 or 40 or 50? I don't ever know, but that's the case. Do my emails and post something on social media to get people starting to think and to get them riled up, and so we can get the folks engaged. That's what I enjoy doing. So I'll post the social media stuff, and then I turn on the television and start clicking around and start seeing what the breaking stories of the day are, so I can start to formulate some opinions and talking points in case I am called on. I do a lot of television, a lot of radio, podcasts, that sort of stuff very early in the morning. So usually my day starts with getting my opinions ready of what's going on in the news, and then I get on the phone or I'll go to a television studio and start to shoot some TV. That is part of the education, that's part of my stimulation, and that's also a little part of my relaxation when I spend my time with my coffee and my dogs and that sort of stuff. I will immediately at that point, if I don't have any of those things going on, I try to do a little exercise. I go for some walk. That's part of physical stimulation, which we all need. Or I'll go with my wife to the gym and do that sort of stuff there. Come back, and then I go to work. Work for me is doing the interviews, doing the podcasts, all that. I do a lot of coaching these days. People who want to improve their brand, people who want to write a killer keynote so it will sell if they want to be in the speaking industry, or people who want to write a book. I do that either on Skype, or I do it over the telephone, or I also do a level of coaching where people come to my house. Business people, speakers, people in the coaching industry, people who want to be writers and authors, where they will come to my house, and depending on how much money they spend, they can buy into a program where I would spend up to 5 hours face-to-face with them, really doing some intensive stuff with them, so they can build their brand or write a book or whatever. Then I try to get out and do some stuff for me in the afternoons. That might mean going to Bass Pro or Cabela's or a Sportsman's Warehouse sort of place where I kind of get out and do some Larry stuff. I also will spend a lot of time with my wife. We go to movies, we go shopping, we do that sort of thing. And then I come home, and late afternoon you can find me right here on my patio looking at my gorgeous mountain and the critters and all that sort of stuff with my 2 dogs, a cigar, a nice whiskey, and I'm reading a book. Education and reading is very, very important to me, and I spend a good amount of time doing that. Then I will cook. I'm a pretty good writer. I'm a pretty good speaker, but I'm a hell of a cook, folks, and my wife is a great sous chef, so we enjoy fixing a great meal. Besides that, I get better food, better wine, better service, and better scenery here at my house than I can at almost any restaurant anywhere. So we enjoy cooking. Then my wife and I usually take the dog, only Gus, not Ralph, too fat and too old and can't breathe well enough anymore. We take him for a walk, then settle in for a little great television or some great reading. Not a lot of stupid stuff, some, but not a lot. And we talk a lot during the day. So that's great conversation with my wife. So make sure that your day, and my day looks different every single day, just like yours, based on things that are going on. But that's kind of a typical day for me. Make sure your day includes some education, some stimulation, some relaxation, and and some great communication with the people around you. Make sure that it includes those elements, and find inspiration wherever you can, whether it be on a walk and looking at a mountain, reading a book, hanging out with your dogs or your friends, your family, or whatever. If you include those elements, you'll have a great day. Again, a strange question for me to get or to even answer, but if you can remember what I'm teaching you here, to include those elements in your day, I know you'll have a better day. And don't tell me you don't have time for all that stuff. You're too busy working. You have time for whatever is important to you. Thanks for writing me. Info@Larry Winget. If you want to write me a question, I'd be happy to answer it. Thanks again.